Yes, ladies. And before you ask, yes, it is me. You know what I'm like, I couldn't stop away.
Well, I'm very glad to hear it.
So am I. Thank you. You better tell me what you want. He might sack me again if he thinks I'm just chatting.
Half a lager and a sweet sherry, please.
Right, I'll see if I can remember where everything is.
Now, I know a lot of folk think it's clever, but I'm not one of them.
What's that, Mr. Sullivan?
This modern craze here of criticising the monarchy, which I see you and your fellow councillors decided to join in.
Well, it's not as bad as it looks.
Look, have you ever thought where we'd be without them, eh? Because I have. Revolution, civil war, that's where we'd be. There's no excuse for this sort of thing, you know.
No.
I'll tell you this, if Prince Charles ever does visit Weatherfield, I, for one, will be proud to welcome him.
Yes.
What on earth was all that about?
Oh, it's just something that Ken picked up on that I said as a joke, and he's blown it up out of all proportion.
125, Deirdre.
Thank you, love.
Doesn't sound like Ken.
Oh, this is Ken, the born-again tabloid journalist.
Oh, perhaps he misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, and perhaps I'm going to have to be a lot more careful in future, just what I do say. Thank you. Just ask your teacher what your next term dates are.
Oh, Mum, did I ask them?
Look, you lost the sheet they gave you. Just you find out what they are.
All right. See ya.
Ta-da, love.
Bye, love. Oh, was that a sigh for your lost love?
No. I don't know that it's that much easier for kids nowadays, even though folks have cars and videos and a deep freeze. Well, some folk anyway.
They don't have Councillor Barlow to look after them.
I'm not sure if that's a lot of use.
Oh, can I quote you on that?
Who's asking?
Only me, dear.
Yeah, but which one? Jekyll, the loving husband, or Hyde, the investigative journalist? I'm going to have to get you a proper hat to tell you apart.
Deirdre, just a sec.
Oh, running a bit late, George.
Yes, I'm running about a year late myself. That all went quite well, didn't it?
Well, we got what we wanted. You can't ask for more than that.
Makes a welcome change.
Nice atmosphere as well.
You make it sound as though we've always got the knives out for each other. You know that's only in months with an R in them.
What I meant was, I thought folk might be a bit touchy about the headline in the Recorder. I mean, they're not daft, are they?
Not all of them.
Yeah, I guess they think they all figured out where Mr. Barlow, the editor, got his story from.
Actually, I thought it was rather useful.
You're not suggesting these leaks are good for the council?
No, I'm not. Once may be considered an accident. Twice might look like intention.
If I remember my Oscar Wilde from school, that's a bit of a misquote.
Well, Deirdre, that is one of the problems with quotes.
Point taken. Ah, Ken, where have you been? Your dinner's kept, but I'm afraid Tracy's had your pudding. Ken, is that you?
Do I look like Spencer Tracy?
Do I look like Catherine Hepburn?
Well, you might, yeah. Do you like it?
I'm sure it's very dapper for work, but I was brought up that a man shouldn't wear his hat in the house. It's bad luck.
So, how was your day?
Ah, a bit tricky to start with, thanks to you and Prince Charles, but that passed. Do you know, I think they are finally beginning to accept me, take me seriously.
Yeah, how are things with the plans to close the day nursery?
Well, that was top of the list when we got to it. What are you playing at?
Well, that was a professional question.
That's not funny, Ken. Now, come on, take it off.
Well, I really would like an answer to my question.
How did you know about the closure, the possible closure? I mean, I couldn't have mentioned it. I only heard about it myself today. Who have you been talking to?
A good journalist never reveals his sources.
Come on, Ken, take the hat off.
But I would like an answer.
Look, the nursery is falling down. Closure might be the best thing.
Yeah, but don't you feel it should be a matter of public debate?
Not yet. Look, Ken, you can't publish anything about this. One word in that paper and all the trust I've built up with me colleagues flies out the window.
So, what are you saying?
Tell you what I'm saying. No comment. That's all. Just no comment. Hello? Yeah, just a minute. Now then, who am I talking to? Kenneth Barlow, husband and father, or editor Barlow on the trail of a scoop?
I need something on this day nursery stuff.
Oh, yeah, it's the fearless newshound again, is it? Wearing your green eye shade, I take it, plus sleeve garters and a snap-brim fedora.
Ease up, love. The joke's over. I think Tracy had the last word on that. I just need a quote.
Ken, you know that's impossible.
Oh, you've been gagged?
I never said that. I just mean it's daft you asking me for quotes, given that we're married.
Oh, what's that got to do with anything? I mean, the readers don't know or care. Look, you're against the nursery being closed, so why not say so?
Look, I'll make my comments to the committee, thank you very much. Now, would you mind removing your foot from the door and letting me get on?
Look, let's meet for lunch.
Business and pleasure.
All right, forget it. Oh, by the way, I'll be late home tonight. Work's piling up here.
Oh, yeah? Working late at the office, eh? That's a classic. Which hat are you wearing? Your correspondence? Oh, sorry, no, that's shoes, isn't it?
Pardon?
Just a joke.
Yeah, and a damn silly one.
He tells his dad with some jokes. You won't believe it.
Oh, this is your English teacher, is it?
Mr. Percival, a great wit, I don't think. Cripes, it's torture.
Hi. God, it's all go. I've got 2 meetings tomorrow, but somehow the wash has to get done.
Oh.
Tracy, put the kettle on, love. Take a pew. Give us all the hot gossip.
Actually, I only called to see Ken.
Oh, well, naturally. Anybody who calls to see me is either homeless or helpless or hopeless. Was it important?
Oh, it's the hospital friends. Our biannual bring and buy. I called at the recorder with the advert, but there was no sign of life.
Sure.
Positive. He was gone 6, so I didn't really expect that there would be any.
But sure, Ken said he was working late. Anyway, doesn't matter. Leave it with me. I'll see he gets it.
Oh, right.
Typical joke from Mr. Percival's Gratty Gag Boot. Newspaper office. Chap with a rubber hammer running round hitting people on the bonds. Who's he? The head hitter. Can you believe it? Even the Crowls couldn't manage a giggle.
You'll have to get your skates on if you want to lift.
Ready when you are.
Shouldn't you have done that last night?
Don't have to be until tomorrow anyway. How come you were so late home last night?
Oh, I had to see someone on newspaper business.
Who?
I don't think that's any of your business.
That's what you told Mum, isn't it?
Look, do you want to lift to school or don't you?
All right, I'm coming. I'll just get my bag. Is my gym kit ready?
Ah, yes, on your bed, love.
Towel.
Yeah, and I wonder who put her up to all that then.
What?
Quizzing me about where I was last night.
Some children do take an interest in what their parents do, you know, Ken.
Oh, come on, love. It's obviously been going on to her.
Look, I don't have to go on to Tracy about anything. She has got eyes in her head. She can hear what's going on, and she's not a little girl anymore.
Yeah, well, I just don't want her to get the idea that all this business is driving a wedge between us.
And is it?
Oh, not as far as I'm concerned, no. I've got my job to do. You've got yours.
As long as Tracy sees it that way, there's no problem, right?
Right.
Oh, just coming round to see you. Me? About this.
Weatherfield Council has been asked to look urgently into the problem of finding additional temporary accommodation for homeless young people. And the recorder has it from a reliable source that a short list of possible buildings has already been prepared, with the community centre in Coronation Street at the top of the list.
What on earth is going on?
Nothing's going on. The council have discussed the problem. Yeah, the community centre was mentioned, but that's all there is to it.
Well, that's certainly not the impression you get from this.
No, I agree. And I suggest you take it up with Ken. It's his story.
And where did he get it from?
Well, he certainly didn't get it from me. And now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a phone call to make. Ah, Fiona. Could I speak to Ken? It's Deirdre. Oh, I see. Did he say how long he'd be? Yes, I do want to speak to him, just as soon as he gets back. Bye. So when's she having this party?
Saturday. We're going to the ice rink and then on for a burger. She said I can stop the night at her house. I can't I, Mum?
Yeah, as long as it's all right with her, Mum.
Of course it is. Are you going upstairs?
Give it here.
I'm just getting a drink of orange. I'll get it.
Right.
8827. How are you? You know? And you don't know what time you'll be home? Right, I'll tell her.
Who is it, Tracy?
Right, bye, Dad. It was Dad.
Dad, why didn't you tell me?
Well, it was only a message to say be late on.
I wanted to speak to him.
What are you doing?
I'm ringing him back.
He wasn't at his office. He was in a phone box.
Sorry I'm late, love. Hold up again.
Newspaper business, I suppose.
Right, yeah.
Managed to top that, have you?
Well, I must admit, that is one of my better efforts.
Better efforts. Getting hold of half-truths, blowing them up out of all proportion, making me look like a sneak and a cheat.
Oh, come on, love. There isn't a thing in that story that isn't based on fact, and there isn't a thing that implicates you. I can't see what you're getting so upset about.
I am getting upset, Ken, because whatever you reckon, folk have already started pointing the finger. So unless you're prepared to say where you did get that story from, I am in the firing line, whether you accept it or not. So, where did you get your story from?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, I didn't think for 1 minute that you would. I mean, when it comes to your precious principles or your wife, there's just no contest, is there?
Hello, 8827. Yes, she is. Who's calling? All right. Councillor Crozier.
Hello, Graham. What can I do for you? As if I didn't know. Yes, I have seen the recorder. No, I don't know where Ken got it from, but I can assure you he did not get it from me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've had a busy day. I'll talk to you tomorrow, all right? Yes, I have no doubt questions will be asked. And that's not the first call I've had like that today.
People are that ready to jump to their own conclusion. That's their problem, isn't it?
No, Ken, it isn't. It's mine. I wish you'd stop that tuneless whistling.
Sorry, didn't realise I was doing it.
Still, you've got plenty to whistle about, haven't you?
I'll not be provoked, Deirdre. Never go to work on a row. It's bad for the digestive and creative processes.
Creative processes? What did you ever create in that rag of yours, apart from fairy stories?
Vulgar abuse won't provoke me either.
Seriously, though, Ken.
I'm deadly serious.
You haven't been serious since this whole thing blew up. You've been smirking most of the time.
Smirking? I wouldn't know how to.
You've got the sort of face that could smirk in an east wind, Ken Barlow.
Vulgar abuse again.
But what am I going to do when I walk into that town hall this morning? Because everybody will be pointing the finger at me. I know they will.
Oh, mainly behind your back, and you can cope with that. If they accuse you to your face, just deny it. Or change the subject like a good politician.
But why should I have to?
The only crime you're guilty of is being married to a journalist. Oh, well, that is one way out, of course.
What?
Divorce me. And marry somebody with a low-profile job like a painter and decorator. Fine.
Look, it's not funny, Ken. I don't like being accused of letting down the council, feeding you and your blinking papers secret information when I'm not doing. I wouldn't care if I was. At least then I'd probably be getting some sort of buzz out of being a mole.
Now that is a credible alternative.
Go on.
Well, I agree it must be very galling getting all this flack for something that you're not doing. So why not do it? Start to feed me all the classified information. I can always use it, and I will protect my source to the death, honest. Matter of fact, I did want to ask you about the new car park charges I'd heard of.
Go to work, Ken, while you can still walk, because I am highly tempted to kick you in a very tender spot.
Oh, right, I'm going. And good luck with the town hall.
Your husband's paper must be making life very difficult for you. That's obvious.
Look, I'm not tipping him off, you know. I didn't tip him off about the hostel story or any other story. I'm sorry, I tell a lie. I inadvertently mentioned the Prince Charles business, but that taught me a lesson. Keep my mouth shut in future.
Oh, it can't be easy. Living under the same roof, chatting about the day's events. Pillow talk.
Especially for a gas bag of a woman.
It'll be causing me problems too.
Look, I don't seem to be making myself clear. There isn't a problem where I'm concerned. Only circumstantial evidence. There is a leak in the town hall. My husband is the one being leaked to. Therefore, I must be the leak.
In a nutshell.
But I am not the leak.
Several members of the council think you are.
Only several.
I'm being diplomatic.
As always.
And the other newspapers think you're the leak. I've had them all on, ranting and raving about Ken getting privileged information.
I am not the leak. You don't believe me either, do you? Not that I really expected you to.
Well, it doesn't matter if I believe you or not. It's what they're saying in the smoke-filled rooms.
Yes. Well, I'll just have to keep denying it then, won't I? That's all I can do. But I can still do without sarcastic remarks, Mr. Reynolds, from you or from anyone else.
Councillor Barlow. I'd just like to remind you of item 6 in the Local Government National Code of Conduct. Now, from memory, it says, as a councillor, you necessarily acquire much information that hasn't yet been made public and as such is confidential. It is a grave betrayal of trust to use confidential information for the personal advantage of yourself or of anyone known to you.
From memory, eh? Sounds to me as if you've been looking it up.
If there is a betrayal of trust, a councillor can be suspended from all committee meetings. Just one other thing. Ken doesn't have to print this information he's getting, does he?
You are in a difficult position, Deirdre, and no mistake. But then I suppose you could say that Ken's in a dilemma as well. Which comes first, his job or yours?
Oh, he's in no doubt about that. His. Politicians and bureaucrats must not be allowed to gag the press, Deirdre. He occupies the moral high ground and I get all the stick.
Afternoon, ladies. Can I get you another cup of tea?
Well, we're just leaving, actually.
Oh, well, Councillor, before you do, I've been hoping to bump into you all day. What's all this in the recorder about opening a hostel for young layabouts in Coronation Street? Have the council gone raving mad or what?
They will not be layabouts, Percy. They will be homeless young people. And anyway, there's nothing definite yet. The recorder's jumped the gun.
And quite right, too. We owe big debt to people like your husband for keeping the public in touch with what rightly concerns us. And I'd like to think it was you that gave him the nod.
Well, you think wrong, Percy. As per usual. In fact, you must hold the flipping record for getting things wrong.
What did I say?
She's under a lot of pressure at the moment, Mr. Sugden.
That's my tea, I've had it.
Oh, do you want anything else?
No, I'm slimming anyway.
Slimming on what you eat?
I'm going to cut out suppers.
That's just as well. Bowl of cornflakes and a cheese and tomato sandwich is hardly the stuff sweet dreams are made of.
My dad.
I heard.
Hiya, Dad.
Hello, love. She wouldn't say hiya. You sound like somebody out of a western.
Everybody says it.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't. It's sloppy language. How's your mother?
Brooding, definitely brooding.
Hello. At Blackrock.
I'll tell you how bad it's been, Ken. I've had a row with the chief executive, a public dust-up with Percy Sugden, and I've had to put up with countless snide remarks, all down to you and the recorder.
Well, you've survived, haven't you? Nothing in splints, as far as I can see.
There are two ways out of this situation, Ken.
Two? That sounds promising. What's for tea?
What you can see on the table. You can either stop printing what whoever it is tells you.
Can't do that. We're letting the paper down.
Look, get him to stop telling you things then. Walk away when he approaches you. Hang up when he rings you. Or her. Is it a woman?
It's my function, Deirdre, to find exclusives and print them.
And that's your last word.
Got to be.
Right. Well, in that case, I shall just have to resign from the council before I'm as good as chucked off.
Don't be silly. It's only trivial information about ordinary council matters. It's not threatening national security, for God's sake, and it should be in the public domain anyway. Politicians love to have secrets. It's a form of power.
And what's revealing secrets, Ken? Doesn't that give you a kick? Make you feel powerful?
Where's Mum?
Having a lie-in.
She was upset last night, wasn't she? The other councillors, you think that she's getting their secrets so she can tell you, and you can put them in your paper, don't they?
Well, she isn't doing anything of the sort. Your mum is a very principled lady.
They don't think so, do they?
She's got a clear conscience, Tracy, so she's nothing to be ashamed of, and she can hold her head up.
Sounds easy when you say it.
Ah, I thought you were having a lie-in.
I wasn't asleep. I've been awake half the night wrestling with this situation. And one thing's for sure. Every time you get something in that paper of yours that the council wants kept secret, they're going to take it for granted that you got it from me. I can't win. Like I said last night, maybe I should resign. Let's face it, you wouldn't exactly be heartbroken if I did, would you?
Well, it's your decision, love. But I'll support you whichever way you go.
I don't think you should resign, Mum. You haven't done anything wrong.
I know that, Tracy, love. Other people don't. That's the trouble.
Well, they say, if you can't stand the heat, then you shouldn't be in the kitchen.
You didn't get that from me. Hello. Oh, looks like you've been busy this morning.
Yeah, I had some letters to write.
These letters, they include a letter of resignation from the council.
Make a story for you, would it?
Look, love. You seem to think that I'm enjoying your dilemma. Honestly, I'm not. And I'd like to help, but I don't see how I can.
There is one very obvious way you could help, Ken. Get me off the hook right away.
Oh, you mean divulge my source of information? Well, I gave the person...
Spy, you mean?
Look, I just happen to believe that the facts they've printed are facts the public needs to know. And so does my source of information. And I promise to keep my source's identity secret. That I wouldn't reveal it under any circumstance.
Even though it's me that's getting hurt?
I made a promise.
What about the promises you made me when we got married?
Now, this is a professional matter. It's nothing to do with our personal lives.
You can't separate the two, Ken. You can't split life up into nice, tidy little compartments.
Well, I grant you it's difficult, you being a counsellor, me being a journalist. But I can't do what you're asking.
Right. Well, here's a statement for you, Ken. I'm not resigning. I know there's plenty of people who think I should get out, but I'm not doing. I'm going to go to the planning committee tonight, as usual. I'm sticking it out. And you can quote me.
You're not telling me that Deirdre's not passing all this confidential council stuff?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Oh, come off it, Ken. Look, she comes home from a meeting, she drops a little hint there, little clue somewhere else. Well, I'm telling you, I've got some mates on the council, and they're none too pleased with her.
Yeah, I know that, and they're wrong. As you are.
Listen, if Kenny says that's a position, it's good enough for me. Now, in my experience, Kenneth is an honourable man. And it's a very true saying. Honest walk, you mally pawns.
What does that mean, exactly?
Eh? Well, it means him that laughs last best.
Yeah, well, anyway, Alf, next time you meet these old council mates of yours, just tell them to watch their tongues.
Look, quite right, because you're an expert on libel laws, aren't you?
It's got nothing to do with you.
It's a free country,
Now,
or
come
perhaps
on.
you think different.
Come on, gentlemen, there's no call to lose your temper. And I'd remind you that Mr. Roberts mustn't get himself all worked up. I mean, with this ticker, anything could happen.
Percy!
Don't excite yourself now. Deep breaths, that's the ticket.
Anyway, where are you getting these stories from?
That's my business.
Yeah, the funny people, these press wallers, aren't they? They love telling other people's secrets, but when it comes to their own, they get a bit shirty.
Hello, Deirdre. I wasn't sure you'd be coming.
Why would they stop away, George?
I think we're all here, in which case we'll come to order and start. Item 1. Are we all agreed? The minutes are a correct record of the last meeting.
Mr. Chairman, before we go any further, I want to move a resolution.
You can't do that at this stage.
As a point of order, Mr. Chairman, as a point of order...
Not now, man.
I move, Mr. Chairman, that Mrs. Councillor Barlow be asked to leave this meeting. Yes. Knowing full well that if she stops here, we might as well have our meetings in the street. Because it'll be all over that sheet her husband runs.
Mr. Chairman.
I move a vote be taken.
It's totally out of order, this, Mr. Chairman.
We can't conduct the vital business of this committee knowing there's no confidentiality.
He's accusing Councillor Barlow, but I want to know what proof he's got.
The proof's what's in the paper, man!
Order, please.
Mr. Chairman. You've no need to put it to the vote. If that's the feeling of the committee.
It is.
Right, then I'll leave you to get on with it. And I'd like it minuted that I leave this meeting under protest.
I get those two mixed up. Is Denise the dark one? Oh, hello, Deirdre. I didn't realise you were in.
Hi, Mum.
Hi, love. Enjoy the film?
Yeah, it was okay.
I hope you said thank you to Auntie Emily for taking you.
Of course I did. Oh, is the water hot?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going having a bath.
Oh, your committee meeting finished early, I take it.
Well, for me it did. In fact, I left before it even got started. My fellow committee members made it very clear they didn't want me to stay.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
this is Ken's stories in the recorder. Well, I hope he's pleased with himself.
He doesn't know yet. He's out somewhere, working, I suppose. Oh, God, I wish he'd been there when they threw me out. Well, say threw me out. I didn't wait for them to vote, I walked out.
Oh, you must have felt awful.
I did. And then coming home, something struck me that made me feel even worse. It's not me that's been telling Ken what goes on in that committee. That means it must be one of that lot that was booing me and hissing me tonight.
Well, I suppose that's possible.
It's more than possible, Emily. God, I wish I knew who Ken's mole was. But I'll tell you this, I'm going to find out. And when I do...
Long meeting tonight.
Yes. There's a very interesting letter in there.
Good.
If you use it, well, they won't be able to blame your wife this time. There was a row at the start of the meeting. Most people wanted her out, so she went.
I see. Well, as you say, they won't be able to blame Deirdre. Can I keep this?
No, you better copy it now. Well, when you print it, they'll be trying even harder to find the leak.
Does that mean you want to stop?
No, I'll carry on, but I think it's going to get tricky.
Morning, Councillor. Here to resign, are you?
Not on your life.
I thought so. There's no honour in public service anymore, is there?
Listen, Steve.
To be quite honest, love, I'm surprised you've got the nerve to show your face.
Yeah, well, I've got an appointment with the housing manager, as it happens.
Homeless family, is it? Making sure they don't land up on your precious street.
Listen, I wanted that hostel to go ahead.
Steve, I'm glad you're early. We're seeing the chief executive at 5:30. I'd like a natter first, so we go in with a clear blueprint. There's been enough delay.
Did the hostel get the green light then? I mean, if there's anything I can do, the committee's moved and we're in the planning stage.
Sorry, love. This is all very confidential.
Morning, Mrs. Barley.
I say, Wendy. Look, these rumours, you know they all suspect me, simply because my husband... Well, I just wondered if you've got any ideas.
Not a clue. I just take the notes.
Yeah, but you might have noticed something, like my husband, Mr. Barlow, you know, Ken Barlow from the Recorder, talking to some particular councillor.
I can't say I have. Please excuse me, I'm late already.
Come on, be straight, Councillor. I happen to know it was on the planning agenda.
How?
Well, I worked for the corporation, didn't I? I have my sources.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Who doesn't?
Yeah, well, now, was it yes to this hostel thing, then?
Well, I don't know. I didn't attend the committee.
Pardon? You mean to tell me that they're planning a doss house in your own street and you weren't there to register a protest?
Look, as it happens, I think a hostel for the homeless is fairly vital, and a pretty well defunct community centre was a good choice, whichever street it happens to be in.
Oh, well, if you're talking like that, you won't get my vote in future.
I didn't expect it, Percy.
Sorry I sprung this one on you, love. Been in my diary for a fortnight, but what with one thing and another.
Well, maybe it's your turn. Maybe you'll get chucked out.
Oh, I'm pressed. If they want their splash, they have to treat me like royalty.
Lucky for some. Mind you, I reckon getting chucked out's first prize.
What? Master Builder's annual dinner? I shall be interviewing, selling space, and dancing till the small hours. How's the long face, then?
Have you ever felt you were carrying the can? I mean, if you could put yourself in my place just for a minute.
Look, we went over the pros and cons this afternoon. Not that we haven't covered them umpteen times before.
It doesn't seem to sink in, does it, Ken? I was drummed out of an important meeting last night. I don't know where I stand.
It'll blow over. It's bound to.
How? Oh, why won't you tell me?
I gave my word. In any case, you weren't drummed out. You volunteered to leave.
I never said that.
You never said what?
That I left off my own bat.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
I didn't. So how do you know?
Isn't that obvious? Anyway, look, I really must be going now. Now, don't wait up. I'll probably be late.
Which one of them was it, Ken? Sitting there watching me get the treatment, knowing it was down to them.
Bye, Tracy.
What must you think of us?
Councillors will be queuing up to apologise.
Hellfire, Ken, and you're in newspapers. Have you ever known anybody queue up to apologise, let alone councillors?
Well, let me put it this way. Any person with a scrap of self-respect will apologise when they see today's recorder. And if that doesn't include your fellow councillors, well, I'd say that's a reflection on them, wouldn't you?
Look, don't get clever, Ken, please.
Look, I'm not being clever, love. I'm stating the facts. You are innocent of leaking information, and today it's going to be proved that you are. So, if they don't then apologise, well, I just don't think much of them, that's all.
Look, most of them would say it served me right for being married to somebody who cares more about selling papers than he does about his wife.
That's rather hurtful, Deirdre. You there, love?
What are you doing back on publication day?
Specifically to put your mind at rest, here.
What am I looking for?
Page 4.
Oh, you find it, Ken. You know what you're looking for.
All right, come on through and sit down. Right, you ready? Under the heading, New Site for Hostel. The Weatherfield Council Planning Committee yesterday took a U-turn on the proposed homeless people's hostel scheduled to replace the community centre in Coronation Street. In a secret session, it was agreed that a more appropriate location would be the former almshouses on Westover Road. No reason was given for the change of heart, though a source revealed that hostility to the scheme from Coronation Street residents was a factor. Councillors were keen that the proposed new site should not be made public in the near future for fear of causing a similar reaction with residents in the Westover Road area, etc., etc. Well, how about that?
Are you trying to scupper the hostel from Westover Road as well?
Deirdre, this vindicates you, for God's sake.
OK, yes, it might do.
There's no might do about it. You were not at that meeting. You could not possibly have leaked that story to me, so you are not the mole. Finish.
OK.
Well, I thought you'd be over the moon. I mean, you're clear, don't you realise?
Yes, it looks like it.
Oh, Deirdre, I don't expect you to jump on the table, but you could at least smile.
All right. So I might be cleared. But the fact remains that you are still my husband, and you are still openly dealing with someone who is spying on the council. So I don't know where that puts me. And the larger issue, as you well know, is that there are homeless people who are less and less likely to get a hostel with every story you print. I'm sorry, Ken. I'm just not in a smiling mood.
Careful.
Mum, can you help me sort out my things for holidays?
Oh, it's a bit soon, love. We're not going just yet.
Yeah, but I haven't got any clothes.
Well, for July in Northumberland, all you need is your bikini.
Haha. Oh, please, Mum.
Oh, all right. Come on. Let's see what we can find.
Oh, who's this?
You go up. I'll see who it is. George, come in.
Thanks. Could I have a word, Deirdre?
Of course. This is an unexpected pleasure.
I'm only here for a second. I just wanted to make myself clear.
Tracy, be up in a minute, love.
You always say that.
Go through. Ken, this is George Burgess. You've heard me talk about him.
Yes, indeed.
Hello there. Very quickly, Deirdre, I felt I couldn't speak this afternoon.
Sit down, George.
The atmosphere in that place is fraught.
Look, would you like me to leave?
No, really. Though I don't think anything I say will be worth a headline. I think you're owed an apology, Deirdre. Well, clearly you are, and I apologise. Clearly it isn't you that's been leaking council information to that newspaper. If we'd all been cleverer, we'd have seen it was too obvious.
Thanks, George.
Although I do think you're compromised. I think it might be worth you and your husband sorting out between you where your loyalties are.
Well, as far as you're concerned, my loyalties are to the people of Weatherfield.
That's interesting. I thought that was where the council's loyalties were as well.
Agree, that's where the council's loyalties should be, George.
Ken.
I think the mistake you're making is to confuse sensitivity with secrecy. No one wants hostels in their backyard. But we have to have hostels. The area needs hostels. If proposals are leaked as soon as they're made, then nothing will ever get off the ground. Anyway, you don't need me to tell you that. You know what you're doing.
I think ratepayers are entitled to full information on every issue.
Yes, I thought you might say something like that. Deirdre, I've said what I came to say. Oh, and Peter Reynolds wants to see you at 3:30 tomorrow. Ring if you can't make it.
I'll be there.
I'll see myself out.
And thank you ever so much, George.
You're welcome. Bye-bye, Deirdre.
What did I tell you? You're completely vindicated. I'll put the kettle on.
Well, as far as George is concerned, anyway. You're soon back?
Yeah, I dropped Tracy off and I thought the office could wait. Only, I couldn't talk while she was here. I do love you, you know.
Well, I'd assumed you did.
So I'm not getting any pleasure out of the thought that I'm the one that's landed you in hot water with the town hall.
Oh.
Because you're worried about your meeting this afternoon, aren't you? With this chief executive character.
Yeah, well, I'm not exactly looking forward to it.
Well, what can he do?
Do?
Yeah, I mean, if he's stupid enough to believe that you're the one who's giving me the stories, what's the worst?
Read me the riot act? Bar me from attending council meetings? Or else there's still that old pair of stocks in the marketplace. I mean, he might put me in that and let folk throw tomatoes.
Yeah, but this chief executive, that's the town clerk that was, right?
Yeah.
Well, then he doesn't have any actual authority over you, does he? You're on the council because you were elected.
And I was elected because folk trusted me.
And still do.
Oh.
Look, you were not at that last meeting, so the story I ran cannot have come from you.
So who did it come from? You can't tell me. Have to protect your source. Oh, it's ever so good of you, Emily.
Oh, it's no trouble. I shall be here for when Tracy gets back, and it just means you don't have to worry about how long your meeting goes on for.
I don't know why I'm getting in such a state about it. I mean, I didn't give Kenny's blessed stories. I'm innocent.
Yes.
And why do I feel guilty? Why can't I just walk in there and say, look, I did not pass any information on to my husband, and if you don't believe me, you can get knotted. And then there's Ken. Oh, I just don't think he realises, and this is what really amazes me, I just don't think he realises the position he's putting me in. Or else he doesn't really care. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you must speak your mind. And I hope you'll speak it to this chief executive as well.
Anyway, they can't put you in front of a firing squad for treason anymore, can they?
No.
So what am I worried about?
You mustn't worry about anything.
Yeah, with any luck, the other councillors will lynch me before I even get in to see him.
Hello.
Hello, Wendy. I didn't expect to find you here.
Standing in while Angela's on holiday. He's got somebody with him at the moment, so if you wouldn't mind waiting.
Oh, right.
He's expecting you, so it shouldn't be too long.
Good.
Family all right?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Deirdre, sit down. I'm sure you've guessed why I needed to speak to you. This newspaper of your husband's seems to have had its own hotline straight to somebody on our Housing and Social Services Committee.
Yes, but...
Which is not you. I know that.
Oh.
Well, unless, of course, you're going to tell me it is.
No.
Couldn't be, could it? You were excluded from the last meeting, and the story still leaked out. Do you know who it is?
No.
But there is somebody. But your husband's just not guessing, is he?
Oh, I gather there is somebody, yeah.
Which means it's my duty to find the mole. I'd like to think you'd be willing to help me.
Why? Because it's my husband who's publishing the stories?
Yes.
You're asking me to spy on him?
Spy? Well, that's a bit melodramatic. We're not MI5. But it's always possible that you might overhear some arrangement he was making. They'll all come across some name that rang a bell. I mean, look at it like this. You wouldn't be spying on your husband so much as spying on somebody who's spying for him.
Subtle stuff.
What about your day?
Well, it was a bit like your daughter's.
Nothing happened.
Not as I expected it to.
But you went to see the big white chief.
Yeah.
And?
He accepted that I couldn't have been the one leaking the information because I wasn't at that meeting, the one you got your story from.
Good. Very good.
And, what about you? You'll still be using your mole, I take it?
Don't like the word mole.
Oh, whatever you like.
Sauce.
Sauce.
Well, if there are stories that I think should be told, I'll still be telling them, yeah.
Uh-huh.
This chief executive, he called you in just to tell you you're in the clear. I'm glad that he did, but it strikes me he must be stuck for what to do with his time.
Well, we did, talk about something else as well.
Yeah?
But I don't think I can tell you about that bit.
Not wearing my reporter's hat.
Even so. Ken, That meeting I had at the town hall yesterday with the chief executive.
What about it?
Well, it wasn't just so that Peter Reynolds could tell me I was in the clear. Like you said, they accepted that it wasn't me who was passing on the confidential stuff. But seeing as it isn't me...
I'd still dearly love to know who is giving me the information.
Peter Reynolds has asked me if I'll find out.
You wanted you to spy on me?
Well, that's what it amounts to, I suppose.
Oh, it's a bit dirty, don't you think?
Yes, I do. But at the town hall, they think that what you and your mole have been up to is pretty dirty and all.
And are you going to spy on me, I mean?
No, of course I'm not. I think there's enough strain on our marriage as it is. I mean that, Ken. You might not be able to see it, but from where I'm standing, we're in trouble.
Come on, Dad. Let's get going.
Yeah, right. Now you mean? Well, I could, I suppose. Yes. All right. Yes, I know the place you mean. Bye. Hi.
I didn't expect to see you till tonight.
Well, no. I spent most of the morning brooding about what you said at breakfast time, about the state of our marriage, and thought perhaps we could have a bite at the Rovers.
Fine, I'd like that.
Oh, no, hang on. As I say, that was my intention, but something's cropped up. I have to go out again.
What, that phone call just now?
Yes. Yeah.
That was your informer, wasn't it? Don't lie to me, Ken, for God's sake.
Oh, yes, all right, yes, that was my contact. We have to have a meeting, like I say, something's cropped up.
I see. So everything else, you, me, what's happening to us, all that has to take a back seat.
I really have to go now. I'll see you tonight, love.
Hiya.
Hello, love.
Here, Don. If I said to you, follow that car, what are you fixed?
You mean... Oh, give it over, will ya? You had me going then. I thought you meant it for a minute.
Yeah, so did I.
You all right? You seemed a bit nervous on the phone.
I am. I can't help it.
What's the trouble? Has something happened?
The witch hunt's in full cry at the town hall. I suppose you know they had your wife in yesterday?
Yes, of course. She's off the hook, which makes life a touch simpler all round.
Well, not for me. They thought they knew who it was, your wife. Now they know it isn't her. The hunt's on again.
Right, well, can't talk here. Let's go and have some lunch.
In Weatherfield? If anybody sees us...
No, not in Weatherfield, somewhere out of town. And Wendy, just relax, all right?
I'm sick of it, Emily. All the lying and the suspicion and the nasty remarks.
But surely the other councillors... Well, I mean, they trust you again now, don't they?
I don't know. They accept that I'm not the one who's been passing on the confidential stuff.
Well, then.
Yeah, but I'm still guilty by association as Ken's wife.
Oh, that's unfair.
That's human nature. And apart from that, they probably think that I know who it is who's been passing the secrets on, but I won't tell because of Ken.
Do you know?
No. That's the worst part of it.
Hello, love.
Hi, Dad.
Homework?
No, it's project. Nearly finished. And when I've done this, no more till after the holidays. Can't wait.
Yeah, do us all good to get away for a while.
Will it? Problems will still be here waiting for us when we get back.
I'm going round to Lynn's for an hour, OK?
Be back by 9 o'clock, though.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye, love. Is that all right?
Yeah, fine. I had a rather substantial lunch.
Who with? Your council mole?
Yes, it was, as a matter of fact.
You know, when you went off to meet that bloke, I had this sudden impulse to follow you. Don Brennan was outside with his cab. I could have done. I could have trailed you. I hate feelings like that, Ken. I hate the secrets. I am sick of living with this wall between us.
We can handle it, love. It's just one small compartment of our lives that we have to keep separate. Because you're a counsellor and I'm a journalist. We just have to live with it.
I can't. I know you say it's not about us personally, but it is. We can't shut it off. It's hurting us, Ken. We can't have these no-go areas.
I'd love to tell you everything, love. Everything I'm thinking, everything I'm planning. I don't like having secrets from you. But you're the one who makes me keep the secrets, because if I told you who my mole is, you'd go and blow the whistle.
No, I wouldn't.
I'd like to be able to tell you, but you'd have to promise me, Deirdre, that it would go no further.
Oh, you've got it.
You sure? And it's quite a burden to carry a secret like this, as you well know.
I'm sure, Ken. Look, I don't mind keeping secrets from other people. It's secrets between us I can't bear.
All right. It's not one of your fellow councillors. It's Wendy Crozier.
Wendy? What, you mean the secretary?
That's right.
Oh, you're kidding me, Ken. Wendy? Quiet little Wendy sitting there scribbling away at a shorthand. Oh, come on, Ken.
I'm glad you find it hard to believe. You didn't suspect her then?
Not for a minute.
Good. So now you know. I know and you know. But nobody else, Deirdre, as you promised.
I wish I hadn't.
But you did. Fancy another cup?
Oh, no, thanks, not for me. Do you know, I still can't get over it. Wendy Crozier, of all people. Quiet little mouse with a neat little shorthand at all those committee meetings.
Well, it stays between us, Deirdre, as we agreed.
You don't have to keep reminding me, Ken. I'm not going to blow the whistle on you.
Oh, it wouldn't be me you'd blow the whistle on. It would be Wendy. She could lose the job.
Well, there are some people who'd say she deserved to lose it. Especially those people whose secrets she keeps passing on to you.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Secrets. Wendy doesn't believe in councillors keeping the rest of us in the dark. She thinks ordinary people have a right to know what their representatives are up to, and I happen to agree with that.
You've made that very clear. I take it you don't pay her for the information, then?
Of course not. Money doesn't enter into it.
Ah. Still, you've spent quite a bit on her, haven't you? There was that lunch you studied yesterday. I mean, I'm assuming you didn't go Dutch.
Well, I paid, naturally.
Oh, naturally. Where else have you taken her, by the way?
I haven't taken her anywhere. We've met her in a pub twice. Look, Deirdre, I hope you're not getting the idea in your head that there's something going on between Wendy Crozier and me.
No, I don't think that.
No, because if there was, well, I wouldn't have told you who my mole was, would I?
Look, Ken, I've already said I don't think you're up to anything like that. I bet she fancies you, though.
Look, I keep telling you, she passes information to me because she thinks it's in the public interest, and that is all.
Yeah, I dare say. All the same, I bet she fancies you.
I'm going to work. Hustle.
Right, I'm off.
What's it tonight?
Environment Subcommittee. Well, somebody's got to do it.
Hope you have a fruitful meeting.
It could be. Wendy Crozier isn't the secretary for this subcommittee, you know, so we can talk without worrying we'll be reported.
As only you know that. Now, for God's sake, don't go telling your pals they can talk without worrying, otherwise we'll put two and two together.
God, I almost wish I didn't know it was Wendy.
Yeah, well, you do know, because you begged me to tell you and you promised to keep it a secret.
Yes. I just get a bit confused occasionally, you know, remembering that council secrets are fair game, but your secrets are sacred. Bye.
I'm glad to say.
For a change.
I want to work with you.
This flaming mole-hunt that's going on.
Apologising, I see,
Apologising?
for all those nasty things you said about Deirdre.
All right, I was mistaken. But I'm damned if I'll apologise again, especially seeing as it's your flaming husband who started all this bother. Since you got yourself off the hook, everybody seems to think it's me that's giving him his information.
It's not just you that's under suspicion, it's all of us.
Not like this. I'm getting all the flack, all the snide remarks. 2 of my party's so-called colleagues have even written to me suggesting I should resign.
Yeah, well, I know what it's like, remember? But there's not a lot I can do about it.
Oh, yes, there is. You tell your husband he should be locked up for the witch hunt he's set going. And I'm not carrying the can for somebody else's dirty games. Now, you tell him that!
You know why he's suspect number 1, don't you? A few years ago, he was definitely telling tales to the Gazette when he shouldn't have done. That's why people think it's him giving Ken info for the recorder.
Well, it's not. I mean, at least I don't think it is. I don't want to see innocent people getting hurt, George.
No, but like you told him, there's not a lot you can do about it.
Can we go sailing when we go on holiday?
Sailing?
Katie Butterworth goes sailing every weekend. She's always going on about it. Sounds great. And they've got their own boat.
Yeah, well, I bet they don't get phone bills like this one.
That's not my fault, is it?
Well, you do your bit.
I have to speak to my friend's daughter. Anyway, can we?
Can we what?
Go sailing when we're away.
I'll think about it.
Great. Well, come on, we don't want to be late.
Look, I'll tell you what, you get into the car, I'll join you in a couple of seconds, okay? You're going to be terribly disappointed, you know.
Eh?
Tracy, if you decide to call off this holiday.
So it's all my fault, is it?
You're the one who wants to cancel it.
Only because I've no choice, not with all this kerfuffle going on at the council. How do you think I'm going to feel if I come back and find that Steve Rafferty's resigned?
Resigned?
Yes, resigned. There's a limit to how much he can take, you know. And right now, there isn't a single person at that town hall who doesn't think he's your mole.
He isn't.
Look, Ken, the only way to clear this business up once and for all is to tell them who is leaking the stories.
I'm sorry.
But a man's future's at stake, can't you see that?
I really have to go now.
Ken!
I'll see you later.
Mrs. Barlow, Mr. Reynolds is expecting you. It's important. He's delayed his lunch hour to see you.
Oh, yes, it's important, all right. For one person, at any rate.
Yes, Wendy.
Counsel Mrs. Barlow for you, Mr. Reynolds.
Thank you.
And while I'm here, let me give you a word of advice.
Me?
If you know what's good for you, you'll stay away from my husband.
What's he been telling you?
Never mind that. Just do it. Or else the next front page headline in the Recorder could well be about a certain town hall secretary getting the shove.
Deirdre, what's so urgent you can't wait until after lunch?
Well, it's about these stories Ken's been publishing.
You better come in then.
I'd prefer to say what I have to out here. Perhaps Miss Crozier would like to record what I have to say.
If you think it's necessary.
Yes, I do. It's about Steve Rafferty.
Oh, there is some truth in it.
No, there isn't. I'm sure of that now. I've told Ken how serious the situation is, and he's told me quite categorically that Councillor Rafferty is not his source.
It isn't Councillor Rafferty. Who is it?
Well, that I can't tell you.
Well, if your husband has given that assurance, that's something, I suppose. Thank you for that. Wendy, get Councillor Rafferty on the phone, will you, please?
Right, Mr. Reynolds.
Well, Rafferty may be off the hook, but it's not going to stop the speculation, I'm afraid.
No, I know, but somehow I don't think things are going to be quite so bad from now on.
Oh?
Yeah, I get the feeling that whoever it is knows that the hunt could be getting a bit too close for comfort.
Well, let's hope you're right.
There's no reply from Councillor Rafferty's number, Mr. Reynolds.
I'll keep trying. The sooner we put his mind at rest, the better.
Oh, I quite agree.
Yeah, I think even Tracy enjoyed herself. Yeah, yes, even she saw the wisdom of spending a holiday in beautiful countryside rather than the departure lounge at Gatwick Airport. Anyway, how are things at the office? Any crises?
Go on, Tracy, admit it. Northumberland wasn't so bad, was it?
It was great. Now, should I give this pen to Amy or Samantha?
I thought you wanted to keep it.
I do, but they're both going abroad for their roles, so I should get a decent present back.
Well, no panics, I'm glad to say.
I think I'll give it to Samantha. She got me a birthday card.
What's that?
It's a present for Samantha.
Present? Don't you mean investment?
Stupid.
Where's that respect we used to give our parents?
Gone with the crack round the head they used to give us.
There's something in that.
Recorder's still alive and kicking then?
Well, so it seems.
And I don't suppose there have been any more juicy leaks from the council coming in while you've been away either?
Ah, no.
Is it over, Ken? Honest?
I promised you on holiday, love.
Yeah, well, promise me back here.
No more dealings with Wendy Crozier, no more leaks, and no more council expose. I promise.
Mrs. Barlow,
Miss Crozier?
did you have a nice holiday?
Yes, we did, thank you. Very nice. I take it there haven't been any panics while I've been away?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
No more leaks to the press? No, of course, there wouldn't be, would there?
I can assure you, Mrs. Barlow, that if there had been, they wouldn't have come from me.
Oh, I believe you. I think I've made it very clear where you stand. Goodbye, Miss Crozier.
I'm off to Debbie's now.
Right, OK, love. Don't be late back.
Oh, Dad, it's summer holidays. And Debbie Dad said he'd run me back afterwards.
I don't care.
Mum won't go on like you do.
Look, your mum's out, isn't she? I'm telling you, don't be late back.
See ya.
Bye. Come on. Bye, love. Oh, hello. It's me, Ken.
Oh, hi. Didn't expect to hear from you.
No, I know. Look, I need to talk to you.
Oh, I don't think so, Ken. It could be more than my job's worth. I saw Mrs. Barlow at the town hall this morning, and she made it very clear to me where I stand. One false move.
Look, I just want you to confirm something for me. Make sure I'm on the right lines. I get the story myself.
Oh, I don't know, Ken.
Well, can we just meet? I'll tell you what it is I want to know, and then if you don't want to help me, fine, I'll respect that.
Well, Mrs. Barlow...
No, as far as Deirdre is concerned, I stand to lose just as much as you. Now, if I didn't feel it was safe to meet, I wouldn't even suggest it. Just trust me.
When?
An hour? That pub near you?
By the river?
I'll be in the car park. I'll see you there.
All right, but I'm not promising anything.
I'll see you in an hour. Bye.
Hi. Oh, I bet you thought I'd left the country, didn't you?
I gather it was a long meeting.
Oh, it shouldn't have been, honestly. Some of them fellas go on like flipping records once they get on their feet. You wouldn't believe they could get so worked up over a thing like a surface water drainage scheme.
The kettle just boiled if you fancy a drink.
No, thanks, love. If I have any more coffee tonight, I'll be swimming in it. Tracy in bed, is she?
Just about, yes. She's been to Debbie's.
Oh, so you've been on your own all night?
No, not all night.
Oh?
Well, I've been doing a bit of detective work. Trying to get to the bottom of this factory business. Well, I had to, didn't I, seeing as I couldn't find out the easy way.
All right, Ken.
Anyway, I got what I was after. Eventually. I now know exactly what Jones is up to over there, why he needs the factory so badly, how much land he owns around here, and how he plans to develop it. Unofficially, of course.
So, you decided to speak to Jones after all?
No, I didn't get it from Jones.
Well, then who? Oh, no. Not her again. Not after you promised.
Hang on a minute, I haven't said where I got my information from.
You don't have to. If you know as much as you reckon you do, then there's only one person you could have got it from.
Right, I'm off now, love. I might be in the Rovers at lunchtime.
What you do with your time is no concern of mine, is it?
Oh, come on, we can't go on like this.
Oh? How can we go on, then? Proclaiming trust in each other? Loyalty?
Look, I've explained.
Look, Ken, you promised me you wouldn't see that Crozier woman again, ever.
I had no choice.
Oh, yes, you did. You had a choice, all right. Between keeping your promise to your wife, who was daft enough to believe you, or going back on it when it suited you, for God knows what you got out of it.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
I don't know, Ken. I don't know what anything means anymore as far as you're concerned.
Look, I needed to know what Jones was up to.
Then you could have called Jones.
What, let him use me? They're going to tell me a pack of lies to suit his own ends? Oh, no. No, the only person who could have told me what I needed to know was you. So if you're looking for a root cause for all this, you need look no further than your own precious principles.
Don't you talk to me about principles.
Look, Jonesy's that far off getting his hands on the factory and, as I understand it, changing the lives of a lot of folk round here. And they have a right to know what's going on, and I have a duty to inform them.
No matter who gets hurt in the process.
There's just no point in talking to you, is there? You know, you're getting just like all the other councillors. It's like trying to conduct a conversation with an answering machine. I'll see you later.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing, love. Well, nothing to bother you, anyway.
But it does bother me. You and Dad are always arguing.
Yeah, well, there's just a few things that we don't see eye to eye on.
It's council again, isn't it?
That does have something to do with it, yeah.
If it were going to cause this much trouble, I don't know why you wanted to do it in the first place.
No, just drop it, will you, Tracy? Already had more than enough from Ken without you joining in the chorus.
Still going shopping this afternoon?
I said so, didn't I?
I know what you said, but that was yesterday.
Yes, we are definitely going shopping this afternoon, all right? So be back here by 12.
Great.
Double 827. Oh, right. Hello, Mr. Reynolds. What can I do for you? Well, I did have other plans for this afternoon. Oh, I see. Well, if it's as important as all that. And you can't even give me a clue? I see. Yeah, well, if you insist. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
How do I look?
Oh, fine. Listen, Tracy, that was Mr. Reynolds on the phone from the council. He wants to see me first thing this afternoon.
But you promised.
Yeah, I know I did, love, and I'm sorry, but he didn't give me a lot of option.
That flipping council again.
Look, tomorrow, I promise, all right?
You promised today.
Oh, I know I did, love, but it can't be helped. Tracy!
Councillor Barlow.
Hi.
Mr. Reynolds said to go right in as soon as you arrived.
Oh, right, fine. You couldn't tell me what it's about, could you?
Sorry, if you've no idea.
I haven't a clue. He just rang up and said he wanted to speak to me straight away.
If it's any help, he did receive another phone call just before he told me to get you.
Oh, I see.
From your husband.
Good night, Percy.
Good night.
Hi.
Not working late tonight, then?
Well, I don't have any need to now, do I? Not in the sense that you mean, anyway.
Really? I should have thought you'd have every need.
Not with you.
You do surprise me. I would have thought the phone line between the town hall and your office would have been white hot this afternoon.
I've not been in my office this afternoon. Look, if something's happened that I need to know about...
I had a phone call this afternoon from Peter Reynolds. He wanted to see me. No, demanded to see me within the hour because he'd had a phone call from you.
That's right, yes. Trying to firm up a few facts about what may be going on over the road, but it wasn't very helpful. I don't see what that's got to do with you.
No, you don't, do you? Well, I'll tell you. Peter Reynolds was concerned because you were trying to get him to firm up your story, all right. Not just to the point of putting words in his mouth, but to practically ramming them down his throat.
It's not exactly the easiest of men to deal with.
No, especially not when he's been betrayed. Because from the questions you were asking, it was obvious to him that you got your hands on facts that were only known to a handful of people.
Still don't see what that's got to do with you.
I happen to be one of those people, Ken. And Reynolds made it quite clear to me where he reckoned the leak had come from.
Oh, I take it you put him right.
Oh, yes. I put him right. Because I've had enough of this, Ken. More than enough. And I've only got myself to blame for letting it go on for this long. For being naive enough to believe your empty promises. For thinking that you might just care more for me than you do for that blasted paper of yours and your blessed principles. Yeah, well, it's finished. It won't happen again, I promise you that. Because Reynolds knows it wasn't me this time, and it never was. He knows he need look no further than that little two-timer under his own roof.
You've told him?
I didn't have a lot of choice, did I? And if I've got a single regret, it's only that I didn't do it weeks ago.
Do you know what you've done to her?
Oh, no, Ken. Don't try to make me feel guilty, because it won't work. I, for one, will not lose one wink of sleep over it. Your dinner's in the oven.
Spoon, 7 letters.
Stirrer?
Doesn't fit.
No, it doesn't.
Did I say something?
No, love, it's all right. Listen, why don't you go upstairs and get ready? I'll take you on that shopping trip I promised you yesterday.
That's if the phone doesn't go, you mean?
Look, I promise I'll ignore the phone.
Really?
Do you want to go or not?
All right, keep me cool. I'm on my way. Can we go to Jeans and Beans?
Yeah, if you like.
And Sully's for some shoes.
We'll see.
Great.
Oh, I'm glad to see you're keeping some of your promises.
Don't you, of all people, start to preach at me, Ken Barlow. And don't ever use our daughter to score cheap points again.
So you're refusing to tell me?
That's right.
A quiet word with the chief executive. Not much to ask.
I won't be going anywhere near the town hall today.
You'll be seeing your councillor chums, Burgess, Rafferty. They keep their ears to the ground.
Look, Ken, when are you going to realise that what happened to Wendy Crozier is of no interest to me, no interest whatsoever?
Aren't you ready yet? Katie and Mum will be here any minute. Oh, you haven't forgotten. Alton Towers.
Alton Towers?
Dad, you did tell her, didn't you?
There's no point, Tracy.
You knew she was going out with Katie Butterworth and you didn't tell me.
Your mother's far too busy with the council business these days to worry about any plans you might have.
Katie's mum's always taking her out.
Look, I'm sorry, Tracy, love, but if I'd known, I might have been able to make other plans.
Notice that, Tracy, only might have.
Here, love, you'll need this.
Conscience money, is it, Deirdre? Interesting morning?
Bit hectic.
Yeah, mine too. Phone never stopped ringing.
Oh, and you complaining? Well, there's no pleasing some folk.
Oh, you complain, running a busy office single-handed.
Poor Ken. One wonders if the recorder can survive.
Oh, it will. Don't worry. Being short-staffed doesn't help, though.
Any scoops, major leaks, saucy scandals?
Not as yet.
Still, you'd be feeling the pinch now, with no mole digging the dirt for you.
Well, one mole goes, another surfaces. There's always someone who believes in public accountability. Which is what democracy is all about.
Oh, I quite agree. Still, Ken, whatever your problems at the recorder, at least you've got a job, which is more than I can say for your chum. Wendy Crozier lost her appeal against suspension. They sacked her at the end of last week for gross misconduct.
Oh, if only you got in touch the moment you lost your job.
Well, there was nothing you could have done. Nothing anyone could have done.
Well, at least you could have given me the opportunity to offer you some comfort.
Thanks for the thought. I've caused you enough trouble.
Trouble? Oh, what we did was right, in the public interest.
You know as well as I do, it's never that simple. There are always other people to consider.
Deirdre? Oh, well, she's no saint. And it was a pretty dirty trick she played.
Oh, I don't blame her for shopping me. If I'd been in her shoes, I'd probably have done the same thing.
I very much doubt it.
Ken, I'm no fool. I know the pressure you've been under at home. Both of you.
You're quiet. Look, if you're still upset because I couldn't go to Alton Towers... Tracy, love, we can't spend the rest of our lives not communicating.
Why not? You and Dad do.
Yes. Between us, your dad and me have made a pretty good job of spoiling your holiday, haven't we?
Doesn't matter.
Of course it matters. Will you believe me if I tell you I'm sorry? Look, love, I'm not trying to make excuses, but... Well, with me being a counsellor and your dad being a journalist, there's bound to be days when we don't see eye to eye.
Surely not all the time, though.
That how it looked to you?
Yeah.
Look, love, I can't make up for what's happened this last few weeks. I wish I could. But just trust me when I tell you that from now on, there shouldn't be any more rows.
Shouldn't you be getting home?
Not till you've heard me out.
I'm exhausted the subject, Ken.
There is a way I might be able to help. Have you ever thought about the newspaper business?
I've thought about nothing else for the past few weeks.
No, seriously. There's a possibility of a job at the Recorder. Well, nothing as high-powered as they used to, just a bit of secretarial work.
Ken, you don't have to invent a job to salve your conscience.
Look, you're out of work. I need someone to help out in the office. What could be simpler?
Deirdre would never agree to you employing me.
Deirdre's got nothing to do with it. All she was concerned about was council leaks. Now they're well and truly plugged, she'll leave me to run the business. The job's yours if you want it.
I think he's having a hard time of it at work, love.
Who's Wendy Crozier?
Why?
You was talking about her on holiday.
Well, she was, someone that your dad was getting information from for the paper. It was information she shouldn't have been giving him. It was confidential stuff, you know, council matters. She'd no right to.
Oh, but she's not anymore.
No, that's all finished now. She was sacked for it.
Good.
That's what I think.
All I can do is repeat my offer. But look, if you'd like to talk some more, let's meet. Yes, okay, yes, that would be fine. Good. Bye, I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
So this is the point when it goes to the printers. And you sit back and put your feet up.
Not exactly, no. It's the point I start worrying about what the hell goes into next week's edition.
Oh, of course. God, it's a treadmill, isn't it? Must be exhausting for you.
Absolutely shattering if you really want to know, Wendy.
Poor you. And you really manage on your own?
Well, I have temps in the office, and I'm lucky to have a small army of loyal contributors, but basically it's me, yeah.
Amazing.
No enthusiasm, Wendy, and by now bags of experience. But I do need help. I'm serious in my offer.
Well, I've no experience, Ken.
Ah, but you've got spirit and intelligence, the two fundamentals. And, you've got another quality that's a tremendous asset in dealing with people.
Oh?
You're very attractive.
Well, that's stopped the conversation, hasn't it?
Ah, Deirdre.
Hello.
You know Wendy, don't you?
Yes, of course I do. Hello.
Hello, Deirdre.
Wendy just came in to, well, see how we do things in the white-hot world of journalism.
Well, that must be fascinating for her.
Yes, it is. It's fascinating.
I just come to take you out for lunch, Ken, but you're obviously busy.
Oh, I was just leaving.
No, don't worry. I'm sure Ken's too busy in any case. No, another day, Ken, honest. I'll make an appointment next time.
Excuse me. Deirdre, please.
I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
Can't believe what?
How often do I drop in on you like that? Once in a blue moon. And what happens when I do? Slap round the face.
Oh, come on.
You said you wouldn't have any more dealings with that woman. You promised me, Ken. You said it on holiday and you said it back here. And I took it in good faith.
But Deirdre!
Like a damn fool, I took it in good faith.
But it was in good faith. I mean, how could it be otherwise? She doesn't work for the council now.
But what the hell's she doing here, then?
Bye, Ken.
Yeah, bye, Wendy.
I'll tell you this. I'll never drop in on you like that again.
You know you're being stupid, don't you?
Stupid, yes. Blind stupid. Ever to believe a flaming word you say. Yeah, love, you'll need this for ice cream. And don't forget to buy Auntie Emily one.
Oh, I'm supposed to be slimming.
Hi, Dad. Where's the pictures?
Oh, good show, good show. Hello, mate.
Hi, Ken.
And, how was your first day back?
Great.
Good, and the terrible new teacher?
Oh, great. Much less than Miss Johnson.
Oh, good.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, one long round of pleasure, isn't it? We shan't be late.
Good.
Bye.
Enjoy yourselves. Look, I'm sorry.
No, you're not. If you were sorry, you wouldn't be seeing her.
I'm not seeing her, as you put it.
Then what was she doing there?
Well, I was just showing her the rope, showing her around the office.
Why?
Well, why not? Look, for heaven's sake, Deirdre, I'm not just cutting her off. She's done me a lot of favours.
Oh, yeah. She did me a few as well. Nearly lost me every bit of trust I'd gained in 2 years as a counsellor.
Yeah, but in the end, Deirdre, all she did lose was her job.
Good.
Oh, well, you can say that, but I feel responsible.
Oh, I think you did everyone a favour, Ken. I mean, if it hadn't been for you, she'd still be sitting in on council meetings, still getting information she could sell to whoever the hell would pay her for it.
She never had a penny.
Oh, my heart bleeds.
Look, Deirdre, possibly this is something you can't understand, but she acted out of principle. She cared about the issues. She cared about accountability. And she was sick to death of the mindless secrecy that you politicians cocoon yourself with. She put her job on the line and she paid the price. And I think that is entirely admirable.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Well, I do. And that, if you want to know, is why I've offered her a job.
What?
You heard, Deirdre. I've offered her a job. And I damn well hope she accepts.
Are you going to be reading them all day?
Can take all day. Size of some of them.
It's boring. I want to go out. Can't we go somewhere, Dad?
Ask your mum.
Well, where were you thinking of going?
Could go blackberrying.
Oh, it's a bit early yet, love.
I knew you'd say that. You're just looking for an excuse not to go because you're not speaking to each other. Well, I wish you'd both flipping grow up.
Where's Tracy got to? She was supposed to be doing this.
Well, she's upstairs changing her shoes in case it gets muddy. Look, love, I've tried to explain. I offered Wendy work because I am responsible for her getting fired.
It wasn't as simple as that, Ken.
No, I know it wasn't as simple as that. You had a hand in it, she had a hand in it. She's a grown woman who should know what she's doing, fair enough. But if I hadn't been so eager to get the information, she'd probably still have a job. Now, I can't duck out of that.
Am I supposed to admire your moral fibre now?
I'm not asking you to admire anything, just try to understand why I did it.
In spite of knowing how I felt about her.
Just what exactly has she done that's so terrible?
Oh, apart from betraying her employers, you mean?
Don't be so damn snide. She was helping me. Helping us.
Yeah, well, she wasn't helping me, Ken. She was landing me in boiling water right up to me neck.
Well, that's nothing to the trouble we'll both be in if the recorder goes down.
I was speaking about me as a counsellor.
Yeah, well, I'm speaking about you as my wife.
Anyway, the recorder isn't going down. You're just looking for an excuse.
I don't need an excuse, damn it! The girl's lost her job and I owe her. And apart from that, she's a damn fine secretary. If she wants to help while she's sorting herself out, why the hell shouldn't she?
Well, if you don't know the answer to that, Ken, I'm certainly not going to tell you. Where are you going?
Out.
Damn.
Well, those are nice, what are they?
Montbretian.
I'm absolutely hopeless with flowers. I like them, but I don't know a thing about them.
Ken, about the job, I've been thinking.
Oh, what's to think about? I need help, you need work.
I'm not at all sure it's a good idea.
Is it the money? I know I'm not paying you much, but...
It's not the money. I feel uncomfortable about Deirdre. She doesn't want me there, does she?
No. But it's my decision. She'll come round to it in the end.
I don't want to be a pig in the middle between you.
You won't be. Deirdre's got her own life to lead, as you well know. I don't tell her how to run her job. I run the paper. I'm the one in the front line fighting for its life.
Is the Gazette competition that serious?
Well, it's a free newspaper. We don't get any revenue from sales. We're totally dependent on the advertisers for every penny we get. So we have to convince them that people do actually read the recorder. If you get 2 free papers through a letterbox at the same time, how do I convince them that people are reading mine?
Don't the Gazette have the same problem?
Well, they've got the money and the resources to keep going till they close me down.
Well, why would they want to do that?
Well, because I'm taking advertising from their paid-for paper. There's only so many slices of the cake.
Cutthroat stuff.
Well, it's business. If I was the chief executive of the Weatherfield Gazette Group, I'd probably do the same.
I doubt it.
They may not like it, but that's the way it is. If you want to survive, you've got to play them at their own game.
So how do you survive?
Well, only by producing a better paper that people will want to read. And to do that, I need really good stories.
Like council leaks?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Maybe I can't help you any more in that direction, but if there's anything else I can usefully do, count me in. I never could resist the David and Goliath situation. Right, that's enough for one day. Cup of tea?
When will Dad be back?
I don't know.
So we're not going out then?
Well, it doesn't look like it, love. I'm sorry. We could go a walk if you like.
We should tell me what's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. Well, nothing important anyway. All grown-ups have arguments from time to time.
Mum, stop treating me like a little kid. It's to do with that woman, isn't it?
What woman?
Wendy, what's it? I have got ears, you know.
Yes, I do know Bugs Bunny.
What happened to her?
She got fired.
Serves her right for giving away secrets.
Trouble is, now your dad feels he's responsible for her losing her job.
Why is it his fault?
Because he printed the stories. So now he's offered her a job with him.
But why is that bad? Do you think she'll give away Dad's secrets?
No. I just don't like her. I don't like what's happened, and I don't like the idea of her working there.
Are you jealous?
I don't know.
Dad still loves you. You know he does.
He's not being very loyal, though, is he?
Well, if she's lost her job through him, then it's right he has to help her.
Oh, I suppose he is only trying to do the right thing.
Of course he is.
And I'm a selfish, emotional, irrational woman for reacting like this.
Of course you are.
Thanks, madam. Hey, only don't tell your dad I said that. Cup of tea?
No, thanks. Just had one. Where's Tracy?
She's upstairs. Is it too late to go out now?
No, if you want to.
Well, we did promise her.
Fine.
Ken, I'm sorry for going on like a shrew before.
That's okay, forget it.
I don't blame you for storming out. Still, it gave us both a chance to cool down. Listen, I can't pretend I like the idea of you taking on Wendy Crozier, but if you really feel it's something you should do, I can live with it.
Should be a big asset.
Oh, I know. She's highly qualified, competent, capable.
And she's dead keen to get into the fight. Said she loves the David and Goliath situation. I must say, I never really thought of myself as David with his little slingshot.
When did she say this?
Just now.
That's where you had a cup of tea?
Well, yes, I just wanted to clarify the situation.
You actually went round to Wendy Crozier's house?
Well, yes, I needed to know she was taking the job.
What, you were still prepared to offer it to her?
But you just said you didn't mind.
Well, you didn't know that when you went there.
Only illogical.
It is not illogical, it's true. And she's taken it, I gather.
On a temporary basis.
Temporary, right. Well, it's your decision, Ken.
And what does that mean?
Exactly what it says. You run the recorder, Ken. You hire and fire who you like. In future, I won't get involved.
365. Yes, I've got that. But you might prefer a box number, Mr. McMichael. It is more expensive, yes, but it's well worth the extra if you're worried about being bothered. Good. That's fine. Oh, I think you're very wise. Well, just leave it up to us. We'll invoice you, and it'll appear in this week's edition. Yeah. Bye.
Like shelling peas with you, isn't it? 2 minutes on that phone and they're eating out of your hand.
Well, it's my speciality, remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember. And what's more, I'd like to say the council's loss is the recorder's gain.
Thank you, kind sir.
My pleasure.
And in response, I'd like to say that I'm very happy to be here.
What is it then? The sparkling wit?
I'd say the lunches.
Is that a hint?
Can the kitty stand another?
Oh, as long as you're not spent it all on potted plants.
Look, I grew that in my own front room.
I know. And it looks great. No, really. You've transformed the place.
Just tell me if I go too far.
I shouldn't worry about that. Right, well, see you at the wine bar then? Say, 1?
Where are you if anybody rings?
Weatherfield Docks, seeing a man about redundancies.
Go for the jugular.
Bye. If you're not in any rush to get home, thought we might stop off for a quick drink somewhere.
Oh, yes, that'd be nice.
Only, between you and me, it's my birthday.
Oh, you should have told me.
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly expecting a 21-gun salute, but I feel I should make some sort of token gesture.
Of course you should, yes. But won't there be, you know, festivities waiting for you at home?
I very much doubt it. No, Deirdre's pretty preoccupied, what with one thing and another.
Oh. Well, then, yes, we must have a drink. Or else, I could make us a meal.
Oh, no, I couldn't let you do that.
Why not? You don't think I can cook?
Oh, sure, you're a very good cook.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. And you can pick up some wine if it'll make you feel any happier.
Looks like he's in for a very nice birthday dinner anyways. I've got the serviettes out, bottle of Alf's best plonk, and I persuaded Tracy to go to bed early.
Oh, then you won't want me getting in the way.
All I'm missing is the man himself.
What, he's still working?
Well, he's still somewhere. Now, I just want him to give me another 10 minutes, then I can have everything ready for when he walks through that door.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. Thanks. And I don't just mean for the meal. Thanks for being around these past few weeks.
How are things at home? Or shouldn't I ask?
Well, I keep asking myself. It's as though the boundaries have been redrawn and the area that we share has got smaller.
Because of me?
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, because of the stories I gave you and the rows that...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's part of it, but, no, I think the gap was widening before that. Since Deirdre's been on the council, really. I would say that, wouldn't I? She'd probably say it was since I took over the paper. Yeah, I mean, you embark on something new and you expect your partner to follow you. And you look around and you find that she's pursuing an entirely different course and thinks that you're following her.
Well, I wouldn't know.
No. Have you never fancied getting married?
Oh, yes. Well, not enough. Or I never fancied the prospective partner enough. Or if I did, it turned out he was married already. Should we move over there?
Why did you give me that story?
Because you wanted them. Oh, you mean would I have given them to anybody else?
I suppose I do, yeah.
No. I wouldn't have done, no.